With Kobe Bryant announcing over the weekend that he will call it a career at season's end, I had a chance today to conduct an exit interview of sorts. Kobe's reflections on an unforgettable 20-year run. The announcement came this past weekend, but when did you know?
I probably could have made the announcement as early as last season. And I said, you know, if unless something changes, next season is going to be my last season. And then finally I realized, I said, well, you can't make this decision based off of something changing. This is something that's internal. Do you want to do this or not? And if the answer is no, then that passion is no longer there the way it used to be. So just let it go.
So there's nothing that could change your mind at this point? There's no streak of success or no...
Zero.
When we hear words like one-word descriptions of you, I would say competitor. Who's on your short list of best competitors you've faced?
Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson are the two that come to mind immediately because they were relentless. Now Michael, his relentlessness was amazing, and Scotty's as well, both ends of the floor. And then, you know, in my generation, AI was much the same. I mean, from opening tip to the end, I mean, this guy was just going and going and going. And he'd always put you in jeopardy. So those two guys are the most competitive I faced.
Who came the closest to being the Kobe stopper?
The Kobe stopper. Well, the player I always had the most trouble with individually was always Tony Allen. Always. You know, Bruce Bowen was a great defender.
See, that was the name that was on my tongue, but Tony Allen...
No, Bruce was a great defensive player. Rajah Bell was a great defensive player.
Even though he was just that kid? Who is that kid?
Yeah, well, I didn't know at the time. I found out, but I didn't really know.
Now, if you were going to write letters to the three most influential people in your life, who would they be to? What would they say?
Well, from a basketball perspective, I would say I'd write one to Michael, Bill Russell, and Jerry West.
Saying what?
Saying thank you for your mentorship. Thank you for always being there for me when I reach out and call.
If you were having a conversation, you at 37, and I'm Kobe at 18, what would you tell the young Kobe?
I would say focus on human nature. You know, you have to balance out understanding human nature with the obsession to understand exact tactics of basketball. And as I've gotten older, I understood you can execute till the cows come home, but if you don't understand human nature, if you don't understand how to relate to others, if you don't understand what makes them tick, you're never going to win a championship.
For those 5 championships, are you able to rank them? Are you able to say this one was more significant to me, or this one meant more, or this one was more special? How do you rank them?
I think the standard answer should be no.
They're just like kids. They're all special in their own way.
But that's just not true. When we beat Boston in 2010, that for me that's number one with a bullet, because going up against 3 sure Hall of Famers, being down the series 3-2, having lost to them in 2008. And understanding the history and the rivalry and all that goes on there, and having a broken finger and playing with a cast on, all of those things make that championship more special than the rest.
When you do hang it up here at the end of the year, and you're one shy of that number 6, is that going to eat at you?
No, I did everything I possibly could, and it sounds crazy to say I won 5 championships and come up 1 short. But honestly, I'm okay with that. It just wasn't in the cards for me to get 6 or 7, you know, but I did everything possible to try to make it happen. And I can live with that any day.
If you could have a do-over in your career, what would it be?
If I had a do-over, I think I would take more of a leadership role in talking to Shaq earlier, before things went south.
How did you mend fences with Shaquille, with Phil Jackson? Or is that still in process in ways?
No, that process it's over with. The memories that we had were the memories that we had doing battle, of us against the world. You know what I mean? And coming out on top. And when you have those moments, you forge this type of bond, right, that becomes bigger than the game. It becomes bigger than whenever bickering might have gone on. So I think that was the first step. And then the second step was just maturity. I mean, we were both much, much older than we were at the time. And with Phil, when Phil came back to coach in 2006, that was our process. We started that from the first day he came here. When he came back and said, you know what, I want to come help you get these next championships. And I said, Phil, it is not my job to judge or to hold grudges. I understand more than most people that people make mistakes, and we move on.
What do you think you're going to miss the most?
I think the puzzle of trying to figure out how to get the best out of my teammates, the challenging of them, the relationships I have with them, and then watching them develop from training camp all the way in through the postseason and then into the finals where they're the best version of themselves. You know, that process is the thing that I'll miss the most.
You see yourself being a TV guy?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I have the patience to do TV.
Doesn't require much.
No.
Charles, Kenny,
Yeah.
me, you and Shaq side by side, it'd be so warm and fuzzy.
You know what's crazy to me is, you know, looking at Charles, you're looking at a transition of a player from, you know, athlete to post. I mean, he's certainly a blueprint. He found what he loves to do and what he's great at and he loves doing, and there you are.
If it does intrigue you, I mean, when could you start? Can we just get an agreement here today?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We can have some type of agreement. We'll shake on it. I'll do 60% of revenue split.
All right.
On the show.
Excuse me, let go of my hand. That was a fun time. He was, he's totally at peace with this decision that this is it, that 20 years is enough.
The one thing I remember, this is a charity basketball game for Hurricane Katrina. And we're going around and we're giving out all of the different items to the shelters, and we're all there. So all of the players get back in the van. You know, Kevin Garnett, LeBron James, you know, Kobe. Us is the best player in the world. I'm like, hey guys, you know, so I appreciate everything. Kobe gets up. He said, hold on. I just want you to know, I'm going to bust your butt if you don't come play tonight. This was a charity game for Hurricane. We just gave out. He had just changed his whole demeanor and got focused. And you talk about that guard to let them know that I'm still an alpha dog on this bus.
Always.
And letting people know that. To me, it was a couple things that just made you go, he's different.
Yeah.
It's been an honor. It's been an honor and a privilege to watch him play.
Without question.
It's been an honor and a privilege.